Okay, we're live. We're live. Hi, everybody. Here I am live with the amazing, the fabulous, the wonderful Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith.
Liz,
Woo!
Liz, Liz.
Michael. I've never seen the doctor, but yeah, you're a doctor. You're a PhD doctor. There you go.
Oh, I have two honorary doctorates.
Oh, you do?
I have two honorary doctorates. I've been knighted, so I'm a sir. I'm a chief in Africa, so I'm a chief. I'm a reverend. I'm a practitioner, so I have a lot of
Wait a second. I need to go back to this knighted part. So
lot.
tell me about the knighted thing.
It's an organization, St. John, and they basically deal with humanitarian if you doing humanitarian acts in the world, and so they basically knight people who either their community or themselves have done very yeoman projects, or it's basically
Wow.
humanitarian nonprofit organization that has the ability to knight. So many years ago, I accepted the knighthood from them.
So do I need to call you Sir Michael now?
Some people do. I don't put a
Okay,
lot of
everyone. From now on, it is Sir Michael Bernard Beckwith. No,
I,
wait.
sir,
Let me back up. Hold on.
I'm here to serve. So
We've got,
the
wait a minute.
titles just come as we
Reverend.
go.
No, we've got Reverend,
Yes,
Doctor,
yes,
Sir
yes.
Michael Bernard Beckwith,
And chief.
and Chief.
I'm a chief in Accra, Ghana. I've been given the title chief. So my name in Ghana is Asafapone, which means
Asafapone.
the great shepherd. So I did a lot of philanthropy work there, and so I was given the title of chief there.
Okay, so let's back up here now. We've got Reverend. So it's Reverend Dr. Sir Chief Beckwith.
There you go.
I love it. And if you're here, you're joining us, please say hi. I can see all your comments. Awesomeness. Totally agree. Rachel, Elizabeth, and Mabel, and Linda, can you see all the comments?
No, I don't. I don't see them.
Okay, over to your right
Uh-huh.
on your screen,
Oh,
click. Just
comment.
click on comments, and you can see
Oh
everybody's
yeah, I see Rachel Elizabeth.
say
Yeah.
hi to Sir Chief Reverend Dr. Michael.
Mabel, I am. I love you, Michael. I love you too, Kim. Yeah, I see all these beautiful people here. Beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful.
Sir Chief Reverend Beckwith. I love this one. I absolutely love this one. Hello from Scottsdale. Oh, Scottsdale. Yay! You're going to come to the conference. Okay, so we have a lot to talk about today. So, and if at any point you have any questions, I'm actually watching the comments. Oh, we've got Scott from Ashland, Oregon. Yay! And Rachel's going to see you in person. So excited.
Oh,
Woohoo!
beautiful, beautiful.
If you have any questions at any time during our conversation about anything, just go ahead and throw it in the comments because we are watching the comments. But before we even came on here, we were talking about, I got introduced to Sir Chief Dr. Reverend Michael. Oh, this is going to be it now from now on.
I shouldn't have told you.
I know. Take it and run with it, Liz. When I first heard about your work, and that was in 1994, when I was working with James Redfield and Sally Redfield, the Celestine Prophecy, and that's when the Celestine Prophecy was had exploded and was huge. And they told me about this amazing man and this Agape Center that I had to go to and learn more about in Los Angeles, and that is Michael Beckwith. And then I said to you, well, when did it start?
And I said 1980, November 30th, 1986.
1986, you guys.
Yeah. We're in our 30, this November will be 36 years young.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about how you got started, like the whole Agape journey and how it came to be, and those right-wing Christians who were not liking what you were doing.
Well, I was my particular track that I was on. I thought I was going to go to medical school. I was attending USC at the time, and was a psychobiology major, and I began to have a series of inner experiences. At the time, I didn't know what it was. I was an atheist. I was pretty agnostic about the whole thing. But I'm going to keep this short. One evening, I was in a lucid dream, and I was killed, was stabbed in the heart, and I died. And when I woke up, I could see differently. I could see we were surrounded by a universal presence of love and beauty. The intensity of the love and beauty was beyond anything I could ever describe, and it changed my whole path to discover what had happened to me and what this was all about. So I bumped into the mystical teachings of Gautama the Buddha and Jesus the Christ and Moses and Krishna and this is something most people don't know. And so after a period of time, I changed my name. My name used to be Param Atman. I was reading the Upanishads, and I was reading about the Atman presence, and then I was reading about the Param Atman presence, which is the individualized expression of the Atman presence, and that became my name. It lit up in the book. So for a few years, that was my name, and I wrote under it. I had a little magazine, and most people don't know about that part of my history. And then,
Oh, wait a second, we have another name.
no, I
This
don't
is
use that name anymore. But but what happened was I had an insight that Michael wasn't getting the attention he needed to evolve because I was hanging in this very high state. And so I changed my name back to Michael, and I began to deal with whatever unresolved issues Michael had in order to become fully Michael. Now, I subsequently I became a spiritual practitioner. I was a spiritual therapist. I was doing seminars in my living room. I was doing a lot of things, but I hadn't started the community yet. But I was getting this urge to do so, but I resisted it so strongly. I didn't want to start a community.
Mhm.
And I got a message, Liz. I got a message that from the ancestral level, they said, if you do not start this community, we do not have any reason for you to be on the planet anymore. It was very serious. Anyway, I eventually started a vision group in my living room, met every Thursday night for a number of months, formulated Agape in consciousness, and then on November 30th, 1986, I had my very first service in Santa Monica, and we've been growing ever since. So,
Yeah.
uh, different locations, but always the same spirit. Very inclusive, tremendous diversity, tremendous inclusivity. The demographics, represent everybody, and we're still growing strong. It's still growing. We grew by leaps and bounds during the lockdown. People found us from all around the world. So now it's the Agape International is really just that. It's all over the world. You have the UK, you have Australia, you have Canada, you have Peking, you have the Middle East, you have
Right.
Africa, everywhere. People tuning in. All the United States. We're in over 80 countries.
Wow.
And
And can you share with us what agape stands for, what that means?
Agape means unconditional love in the Greek language.
Mhm.
Dr. King called it the love of God operating in the human heart. And interestingly enough, when I was about 10 or 11 years old, I attended Holman's Methodist Church with my mother to see Dr. King speak. He was on a West Coast fundraising trip for the SCLC, Southern Christian Leadership Conference. And I shook his hand as a young boy, and he had very soft hands. And I said to
Oh.
my mom, "Mom, his hands are so soft." And she said, "He does a different kind of work, baby." Anyway,
Oh.
I heard his talk on agape as a young person, and he described the different forms of love, and that agape was the highest form of love because it wasn't personal; it was
Mhm.
transpersonal. And so I started something called Agape Transformationals before I started Agape Spiritual Center, and that was mainly seminar work. So when I segue into starting the community, I kept the name. Me and a friend of mine named Nirvana, who has subsequently passed over, we used to do these seminars together. And so when I started the community, I kept the name Agape, which means unconditional love. Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I know people from all over the globe are tuning in and being a part of Agape because now you're live streaming. Well,
Yeah.
I think I don't, I wonder for those of you who are watching and you have your own business or you somehow have that entrepreneurial spirit, and really been committed to a project, you know what it takes to do what Michael has done,
Mhm.
truly, for 37 years. I would have to say you are, I mean, I've been in the industry now for 27 years, so you got 10 years on me. And to me, that speaks volumes about your commitment, your dedication, your courage, and also the need and the desire for this in the community, that people do love the messages that you're bringing to them and all of the informations and all of your teachings. And I have to tell you something. I haven't told you this privately. I should probably tell you privately. It might embarrass you. But I've been working with you for a while. You've been coming to our Celebrate Your Life
Yeah,
conferences for I don't know how many years now.
yeah.
And I got to tell you something. You are just getting better and better and better every single year.
Why would that embarrass me?
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I was watching some of your lectures and I was like, holy shit. Wow. It was like serious, like almost just boom, just messages just coming through. And you could feel how powerful and truthful, like how
Thank
truthful
you.
and how you're just calling it like it is
Thank
and
you.
just stepping into, like, I don't know if you feel that, but it feels like this big shift has another like surge of
Yeah.
your own teachings and your own truth is coming
Yeah.
through.
That's exactly what it feels like. It feels like, on one hand, I'm just beginning. It feels like a new beginning for me, and
Uh-huh.
I can feel the impulse of this energy flowing through me more unencumberedly. Last January, I was about to do a Zoom class, and before I do anything, I always meditate before I teach or anything. And I sat down to meditate, and when I opened my eyes, I was blind. I couldn't see. I was just ensconced by the light. It was total
Hmm.
embraced by the light. And so I had to postpone the class for a while because I literally could not see anything but light. And so I had Reverend Kathleen McNamara come in, and I had Lee come in, I said, I can't see. So after a while, I could start seeing again, and I could see Lee and I could see Kathleen, but inside of them, I could see this fountain of light
Wow.
flowing through them. And I realized that was their identity. That when we hear "You are the light that lights up every individual that comes to the planet," that's not metaphor or poetry. That's real. So I say that to say that since that time, there's been like another level of energy that comes through. Now that wasn't the first time I've been ensconced in the light, but it was the first time it ever happened with anybody around me. I've never had a. There was never a public
Right.
expression. It was always in my meditation at home, but this was with somebody so people could actually see what was going on. So
That's so fantastic
yeah,
though.
so something has been added,
Yeah.
and I keep doing my work. I keep meditating. I keep doing my work, and in different doorways open because what we're dealing with is infinite. So we're all wherever we are, we're always just beginning. You know, wherever we are, doesn't matter whether we're veterans in the teaching or whether we're just beginning. All of us are just beginning. That's how I live my life. I'm just starting. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can tell there's something new. We did that little class that you came in as a visitor, and I was like, wow, there's something big changing here. And even in your Instagram videos, when I was watching them, I'm like, what happened here? There was just a different, I mean, you always have been a very, very, you are a powerful, presenter and teacher and everything that you have to share with the world. But it was like, boom, a different level. So I was happy to see that. Okay, so for those of you that are joining us, you probably have no clue who I am unless you're on. We're actually live in 9 different places right now. We're live on Michael's page. We're live on all the Celebrate Your Life YouTube channels and all of my personal page and all the Celebrate Your Life pages. At any rate, my name is Liz Dawn, as you can see, and I am the co-creator and co-founder of co-founder. That's the same thing of Celebrate Your Life events and Mishka Productions. And I'm just going to quickly put up a banner here. We've got an event coming up, and Michael is one of the speakers, along with Gabby Bernstein, Neil Donald Walsh, Lisa Williams, Matt Kahn, and a whole host of other amazing spiritual luminaries. It's taking place in Arizona, in Scottsdale, on October 28th through the 30th. And again, our fabulous Sir Michael, Reverend Chief Doctor, will be there. And tickets are on sale right now. If you want to come and join us, it's going to be a fabulous event. That's what I do. I'm the one who brings everybody together for the party, and I love doing that. Not so much a teacher, but definitely the party gatherer.
Right. Celebrate your life.
Yes, celebrate your life. So if you go to celebrateyourlife.com, you can go ahead and get all the information. It would be such a joy if you could make it and come be with us in Scottsdale. We're going to have a blast.
You're going to want to come. It's always great. It's always great. And the individuals, I mean, I was just with Gabby Bernstein in Columbus, Ohio. I was just with Neil Donald Walsh. We did a program together. Everybody's bringing their A game. So you should come to this event. It's going to be powerful.
They always do when they come to celebrate.
Yeah.
And we have fun and we dance and okay, no, I have to show this comment. Barbara, I didn't pay her to say this, you guys. Listen, her events are amazingly amazing. Thank you.
True. It's a true story.
What event is that we're talking about? Sandra, we're talking about the Celebrate Your Life conference. And if you haven't heard of Celebrate Your Life, then I haven't been doing a good enough job in letting the world know about it. We've been around for 27 years, and we've been doing Celebrate Your Life conferences and retreats for 27 years. And it is basically a gathering of the greatest spiritual teachers. I believe the greatest spiritual teachers in the world. We bring them together all in one place at one time for one orgasmically fabulous, spiritually high vibe program. And so it's taking place at the end of October, October 28th through the 30th. And you want to get your tickets pretty soon because hotel rooms are starting to sell out. But if you go to celebrateyourlife.com, so again, celebrateyourlife.com, and you can go ahead and purchase tickets and see all about the event. And again, I didn't pay this woman to say this. Noelle says CYL events are always life transforming.
The best of the best.
Thank you. We have our fans here. Okay. Oh, Gail, thank you so much. So fun and so interesting every time. All right. So if that moves you, you can make it. Come join us. I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. And it's a screaming deal price. And we include meals because I believe that we should feed people, nurturing your mind, body, and soul.
Right.
Okay. So let's talk about what's been going on in the world. So tell me a little bit about any kind of, can you offer like 3 or 4 different tools or tips in ways that we can all kind of get through? We're going through like not just with the pandemic, but another surge of energy, of maybe a little bit fearful of people getting together because we've been so isolated. Do you have any tips of how to move through this and how we can sort of begin to emerge from our cocoons?
Absolutely. First of all, we have to understand the context of the life we're living. You know, context determines perception, and perception determines thoughts and experiences. So the context that we're living now is, first of all, the planet Earth, Gaia, is vibrating very high. The universe is progressive. So the Earth is vibrating higher than it's ever vibrated before. They've been measuring the frequency of the Earth for the last 30, 35 years. So that means that as human beings, we're called to keep up with the frequency of the Earth via meditation, Celebrate Your Life conferences, you know, spiritual practice and things like that. So what does that mean? There's something called spiritual liberation dynamics. Means when the vibration goes up, then everything that doesn't fit that vibration comes to the surface to be eliminated. So we're looking at the world right now, where we're looking at pandemics, wars and rumors of wars, political polarization, hate, things of that particular nature. That is what you call the death throes of an end of an era. We're living in a time in which fear and worry have been normalized, but it's normalized because that's the end of an era. And then what we are about is the beginning of a new era. So if you turn on the news, you're actually seeing reporters reporting from an old paradigm. If you go to a Celebrate Your Life conference, you hear spiritual teachers reporting from a new paradigm. They're reporting from what's possible and what's emerging, and the television news is reporting from what's dying. Now, they don't tell you that it's dying. They'll tell you to tune in at news at 11, and they put music behind it to make it seem very real and surreal, and they get people into fear and worry and anxiousness and anxiety. But that's the death of a society, that portion of the society. So as we are moving back out into the world, we don't want to get caught up in fear. We basically want to get caught up in a who do we want to become? Now, what do I mean by that? When the pandemic first started a couple of years ago, I was teaching people to ask this question. When we're able to go back outside again, who do you want to be? Rather than get caught up just in survival. I don't want to get sick. I don't want this to happen. I don't want that to happen. That's called the misuse of the law. That's misusing the law. You want to ask, who do I want to be? The universe will answer that question. So that question is still real for us right now. Who do I want to be when I go out into the world? Some of you have an entrepreneurial spirit. Some of you have a spirit of compassion and kindness. Some of you have a spirit of wanting to make the world a better place. Now, if you ask, who do I want to be? The universal presence through universal law will bring you what you need in a language and in a way that you can understand that will compel you into right action. So you will be fueled by your becoming rather than being stagnated by your fear of dying or fear of loss. And so all of this is choice, you see. So if you wake up in the morning and you run immediately to the news or run immediately to Instagram, then you are basically allowing your mind to be invaded by the lowest frequencies of the world. But if you go immediately to anything you've learned at any Celebrate Your Life conference, anything you've heard from any teacher, any practice, any book, and you start to walk in that direction, a different world will open up for you that you don't even know exist. You see, let me explain it this way. Imagine a little chick in an egg, and the chick has the nutrition, it has the space, it has the safety, it has the protection. But as the chick starts to grow, it pollutes its environment, it becomes too big for its environment. And if the chick had human consciousness, the chick would say, please give me a bigger egg. But instead, the evolutionary process makes it peck. It ends up coming out of the egg and it comes into a world that it didn't even know existed. When we begin to peck through spiritual practice, and I love the word celebrate your life, primarily because there's a celebration happening throughout the cosmos, and we're here to localize the cosmic celebration. So we enter into these higher frequencies, we actually see possibility. We see potential. We see a different world that what's being displayed on the news. And we start to live in that world vibrationally, and then it starts to manifest. So we have a choice. We can stay in fear and worry and shrink our aura, as you were talking about earlier, our auric field. We can shrink our auric field. We can debilitate our immune system. We can create a condition for disease. Or we can think about possibility. Our immune system becomes enhanced. Tonic chemicals flow through our body temple. We slow down the aging process. And now we can be in the world, but we can be of a higher frequency. Now, I know that was a long answer to your question, but that's just the way that it flows.
No, it's not. I mean, and it's the perfect answer because I love that. And did you all really get what Sir Chief was sharing here today? No, this is and all kidding aside, what you were sharing was so, so vital because this is answers to questions I've been having, and I'm sure that all of you have been having as well, about what's happening here.
Yeah.
And you answered it by saying this is like the death, almost like the death of the old paradigm, the death of the ego.
Yes.
And
exactly.
and it's, you've heard of rising and uplifting our vibration to match the vibration of what the universe is now vibrating at.
Yes.
Of what the planet is now vibrating at. Now, you, I know, have a really, really great I guess I don't want to say ritual, but practice that you do every morning. I would love for you to share that with everyone.
Yeah. Basically, when I first wake up, when I put my feet, I get out of bed, I basically open myself up and enter into a great state of gratitude. I just give thanks for everything, whatever's going on. I'm just grateful, and then I surrender to life, whatever, capital L life, whatever you want to call it, God, divine presence, the presence that's never in absence. There's millions of names. The nature is the same. I surrender to life, and then I open myself up and ask for the power to complete any assignment that comes in my direction. So whoever I meet that day, whatever I'm with Liz today. So she was a part of my practice. That when I met with her today, we'd have an enthusiastic, very transformative conversation. So I ask for the energy and the guidance to complete any assignment that I'm to complete today. So that's when I first wake up, and then I work out with a trainer. Then when I come back home, I actually have moments of like stillness and meditation. Now,
Mm.
meditation was not as long as it normally is today because I was coming here. So I did 18, 20 minutes, and then I came here to meet with Sweet Liz. So my basic foundational piece is meditation.
Mhm.
That's every day. I don't live without that. And what happens is, for those who are beginning meditation, you're starting a new habit, which means there's going to be resistance because you already have something in that habit that you
Mhm.
already do, and now you're placing meditation there. So it's going to be a little fighting with yourself. So you enter into it slowly. You do a couple of minutes. You build it up to 5. You build it up, but eventually, instead of trying to fit meditation into your life starts to be built around meditation. And the same way that you wake up, you brush your teeth, you take a shower, you don't even think about it. It's just part of your life. That's what you call, the external hygiene. Meditation and prayer and study and fellowship and going to conferences such as this is what you call inner hygiene. And so, just as we have a social contract that if we're going to go out in public, we have hygiene. We wash our hands, we take showers, brush our teeth. We develop another social contract. That is, we don't want to go out without our inner hygiene. We don't want to go out as just reactionaries. We want to go out as responsible people, and that happens when you enter into meditation or life visioning or prayer or fellowshipping with high-minded people. Now you've completed your social contract to have inner hygiene. And so, and my ritual includes other stuff. I'll light a candle. I'll do some incense. There's things that I'll do in my home that provide a certain smell, a certain atmosphere. So even as I'm getting ready, my mind is still focused on this vast presence that's so real to me.
Mhm.
Um, and so when I go out into the world, I'm carrying the aroma and the fragrance of what I've touched in the morning. You see, yeah,
Oh, I love it.
yeah.
And so what happens when you come up against, a moment where challenges will come up or you're starting to feel really splatted or, something's hitting the fan? What kind of tools can you offer us? Again, I'm going for the tools here today.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
How do you move through that? Because how many of you have had that happen? And any of you have had that
everybody.
happen where you're feeling super zen and like, yeah, nothing can shake me. And then all of a sudden something happens and you're like, what? Any of you have that happen? Put yes in the comments.
There's so many tools. First of all, there's a part of me that leans into an awareness that it ain't over until it's right. So I lean into the awareness that it's going to turn out okay. So I kind of have that built in.
You already go to the end result
Yeah,
of,
I'm
okay,
built
it's
in.
going to be okay. It's
And
going to be
that's from
okay.
years of practice. It's
Okay.
built in. It's going to be okay. If it's
Okay.
not okay, it's going to be okay.
Right.
And then I'm aware that challenges basically bring out or activate your latent potential. That we're not here to live a challenge-free life. We're here to allow challenges to actually take us to the next level. So those things are kind of built in. So then, if then a good practice is this, and this is something people can do every single day. Do you want me to just take them through it for a second?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey, you guys want to do a process?
yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
And then you can do it for as short as long as possible. Okay, just stop for a moment and just close your outer eye and just for a moment think about a time in your life where all of your needs were met, where you weren't concerned about finances. It could be any time. It could be you were 3 years old, you were 10, you were 16, you were 26, you're 56. Doesn't matter when all of your needs were met. Just the feeling of it, just the feeling of it. Now feel a moment in which you felt loved and supported. Again, this is any time in your existence you felt loved and supported. Now feel this third one, safe and secure. Any time in your life, it didn't matter. You could have been an infant, you could have been a young person, but you just felt like you were safe and secure. Now, if you don't remember such a time, use your imagination for a moment. Let the imagination be the angel of God. What would it feel like? How would you imagine it to feel if all of your needs were met, if you were loved and supported, and you were safe and secure? Now, take a deep breath, hold the breath, suspend the breath at the apex, feeling all needs met, totally loved, safe, release. Let's do it one more time. Deep breath, all needs met, loved, and safe. Sustain it right there. Release. Now sit with this for a second and ask this question: who am I? With all of my needs are met, I'm totally loved, and I'm safe. Who am I? Now, as you slowly open your eyes, two things. One, when you sustain your breath, your nervous system acclimates itself around your last thought. So your last thought of all needs met, totally loved, safe and secure, that thought goes into your nervous system so that your body is your ally. Your body is working for you. And then I asked you to say, who am I? Now, if you ask, who am I, while you're in that state, you're not going to get the ego. You're not going to get the person that's into survival, the sub-personalities. You're going to start to get your real nature. And then you'll start to be available to more and more to your real spiritual nature running the show rather than the part of you that's just trying to survive. So you can do that exercise quickly, or you can do it and take a longer period of time, but it'll bring you into a level of coherence around your real nature, but it'll also allow for your body to be activated around those frequencies. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really talk right now. I'm just kind of in
And that was just a
serenity.
brief expression of it. Now, when I come to the conference, I'll do other things that extend that,
Yeah,
and we'll have more time together for those kind of things, and also the teaching around it. Yeah.
that was beautiful.
Mhm.
That was so. I found myself again just in
Yeah.
those 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
that remarkable, though? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's remarkable.
It's
Did
right
you all
here.
get that? Did you all get that? Let us know how you feel in the comments. And I am going to just share one more time about the conference um, that Michael was referring to. We are doing an event with a whole bunch. I don't know how to say it. I'm sort of speechless. A whole lot of really fabulous spiritual luminaries. And it's a 3-day event in Arizona. And just go ahead and go to the website, celebrateyourlife.com. That's celebrateyourlife.com/Scottsdale 22, or just celebrateyourlife.com. Scott, that's beautiful. I'm home. That's
That's
beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful, Scott.
You know what else is beautiful is that when you come together, we can do our spiritual practices solo, But when
Yeah.
we come together with a group of people from all over the world, I've been teaching for a while that spiritual community grants you immunity from the lower frequencies of life. So what happens is when you come together with a group and you're hearing Gabby Bernstein and you're hearing Neil Donald Walsh and Michael Beckwith and all these people, and everybody's teaching from their particular life experience, that group energy takes you further than what you can go by yourself. And then the practices, when you go home, allow you to sustain it. And then you become immune to the things that are going on in the world so that you're able to do what is appropriate in the world. That's your dharma, that's your gift, that's your talent. You don't deny that things are challenging in the world. We don't deny that. But we become strong enough to be in the world and be a beneficial presence.
Well, I love the way you stated it of going to a meeting the universe or meeting that higher level of vibration of who we truly are,
Right.
of uplifting ourselves in that way. And there is, I mean, thank you so much for saying that, Michael, about the events. I really appreciate it. It is my love. It is my passion. I've been doing this for 27 years, and I love the energy of community when we all come together because, and I didn't pay Marlu to say this. Where's my mouse? My mouse isn't even working anymore. There you go. But Marlu stated on here almost all of her aha moments have been while attending Celebrate Your Life conferences over the years.
Mm.
And I so there it is. Thank you, Tanya. Yeah, my mouse isn't working, Tanya. I'm glad you're on the back end there. And that is because it's not, it is, yes, it's about the amazing teachers that are there, but it's also about what happens when that vibration, when you're in that bubble, that unique bubble of that space, that it allows us to open up to all of that like sacred healing and energy because you're in it. It's like being in summer camp for grown-ups.
Yeah. And also you get to see people like when I go, it's like a homecoming. So I see people I haven't seen in a while. Like
Right.
we kind of meet there every year, and then you meet new friends that you look forward to meeting the next time you come, and you develop a whole network of individuals that are actually your spiritual friends. I mean, Wayne Dyer has left us, but I can remember, coming and hanging out with Wayne all the time. And we would meet there, and I think it was in Chicago that you had it at one point, or was it
We did Chicago,
Chicago?
and you
Yeah,
used to come to Chicago. You've
yeah,
been with us in Sedona. You've been with us in Phoenix. You've been
yeah,
with us in
right.
Scottsdale.
Yeah, yeah, all over. But I would
You
see
was with
people
us for
because we'd
16.
all be busy, but we get to meet there and hang out for a while, and then hang out with new friends. It's always it's just a beautiful event. It's an event in consciousness. It's really really
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, before we close today, I would really like for you to share your new project that's sitting right behind you on your, I think it's your right shoulder. Well, the
Absolutely.
superfoods.
This is called the Superfood Greens. My label is called Adaptozen. You can see it right there, Adaptozen. It's under the heading of NutraRise.com, or you can get it from Amazon. But this was a miracle in the making. You talk about serendipity, and then also
I
I
love
have.
this. So here's the deal, you guys. Sir Dr. Chief Michael Beckwith, Reverend, has created all of these wonderful products because you all know that he's like Mr. Healthy and Health Nut and has investigated this, and he was going to be a doctor, right? Like a medical doctor. And so he's got this new product that's really kind of amazing, and I'm excited to try it. Go ahead and show the product again, the greens and what's in it.
You have 47 different greens. You got spirulina and all the different greens that people like to take individually. This is all in one scoop. Plus, you have rhodiola, maca, and ashwagandha, which are adaptogens.
And it's
You
really,
have,
really good for your adrenals. Ashwagandha is fantastic
that's
for adrenals.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes. And one scoop contains all of that. And this is the big deal. It tastes good. When you put a scoop in your water, you don't even need to put it in the smoothie. You can. Most people are putting it in their smoothies, but you can just drink it in water, and it tastes good. The teenagers love it.
Oh God, that's great. Because okay, this is so you can get this on Amazon,
Yeah.
and you can go to
Right.
NutraRise,
.com.
NutraRise,
Nutra.
RISE.com.
RIT.
No, NUTRI.
Nutri. Excuse me. NUTRI.
And because I've got it right here.
RISU.
And okay, I'm laughing because when I was here, we go with my mom again. I was about 16 years old, and she got on a spirulina kick, and so I started having to take spirulina, and I was taking it just spirulina in water, having the niacin flushes and everything, right? And I was like, I started to have this horrible aversion to spirulina.
You're
But
gonna love
now,
this.
I know, but when you mix it with other things, of course, it's great. But I'm a greens person, like doing barley and wheatgrass and all that kind of.
That's in here. That's
Yeah,
all
I
in here.
saw that. Like chlorella.
Yeah.
Chlorella is amazing for you. I mean,
Yeah.
all of these. I'm excited to try it. Go, Michael,
Yeah.
go.
And we have I also have a vitamin D3K2 liquid in a bed of olive oil and MCT oil. So the bioavailability is greater than any
Oh,
vitamin D you can get.
here it is. It's got with the K2. You have to have
Yeah.
K2.
Yeah. You have to have delivery system.
Yeah. All right. This is great. Okay. Excellent. All right, you guys.
So that was a miracle when that came together. I was going to Costa Rica to teach, and I had my notebook and I was putting together the formula that I wanted. Quick story: I ended up working with a woman who was having a spiritual breakthrough. Was able to balance her out, work with her. Her husband came over to thank me. He asked me what I was doing. His name was Bassam. I told him what I was doing. I wanted ashwagandha in my formula. He says, "Oh, I sell ashwagandha." Come to find out, I buy his ashwagandha. Him and his wife own NutraRise. They're the founders of NutraRise. And he said, "I'll do it for you." I said, "You'll do what?" He said, "I will take your formulation. I'll have my chemists and my biologists look at it. We'll get the best, highest ingredients. We'll put it together from start to finish, bring it to market. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to put any money in it at all, and we'll just become partners." And that's what happened.
Oh.
So within a year, this was birthed. It would have taken me 3 years.
Wow.
But with NutraRise and Bassam and Ramsha Mirza, this beautiful Pakistani couple, we have the super green foods.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I've been doing greens since I've been 17 with
Let me know. Tell me as soon as you take
I'm gonna get I'm gonna get it. Absolutely. Because I'm out. So there you go. It's perfect. Yay. It's got all the good stuff in it.
Yep.
All right, everybody. That's it for today. I just want to thank all of you for being with us and hanging with us today. It's always such a joy to come together. And it's even more joyful when we come together in person, live in person. It's time, you guys.
It's time. Come on out.
Unearth yourself from this isolation, because there is absolutely nothing like being together in community, heart to heart. So go ahead and take a look at the website. It's celebrateyourlife.com, and it's right on the homepage. You'll see it's the Scottsdale event. It's in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's the end of October, and we're going to have a fabulous time. You won't want to miss it. All right. And Sir, Chief, Reverend, Doctor, thank you. Thank you. Thank
Liz,
you.
thank you. It's always beautiful being with you. And I'm looking forward, obviously, being at Celebrate Your Life. We're going to have a great time, see all of our old friends, getting younger by the moment with this spiritual practice.
Yes.
And thank you for the invitation.
All right. And hang right there, Michael. Mwah! Love to all of you.